Welcome to Required Taste Podcast. We are back. It's your boy Dirty D.
It's your boy Tech Daddy.
And it's Queen Bee.
Yeah, that was good. It was crispy. It's been a while since it's been the three of us.
It has.
Doing something.
Nice.
We haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a bit. So, welcome to Required Taste Podcast. If you are a new listener, thanks for giving us a listen to. We are a history-based podcast. We do history, some mystery, some music. But today's actually history again. So, we got that going for us. Mm-hmm. So, if you're a new listener, we do about 15 minutes of banter at the beginning of every episode. We, try to get ourselves warmed up a little bit and get the blood flowing. So stick with us for a little bit. You'll get to actually get to the topic itself, but we're kind of funny, so stick with us. It'll be good. Trust me, it's fine. If you're a returning listener, thanks for sticking with us all these years. We do appreciate the continued support. Thanks for all the likes, all the follows, all the comments throughout the years. We do really appreciate it. Keep doing that, though. It helps the algorithm and helps us out, too. If you are a returning listener, I hope you've been drinking enough water. It is hot up here today, so this might be a bit quick, so we'll see what happens. I'm a little bit sweaty. It's fine. Anywho, as per usual, we get your forehead kisses. Nice. Hell yeah.
Surround sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 4K Ultra HD.
Yeah.
Because we're on video. So,
we
yeah.
Sure are.
If you have been listening to us for a bit, we have had video for a bit. So now. So check us out on YouTube. We also have a website, so requiredtastepodcast.com. We have our own domain. Mm-hmm. The whole thing.
It's amazing.
We have a website.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, please keep giving us the love, the likes, the shares, the comments. We do really appreciate it. So our numbers have definitely been up recently, and that's all thanks to you all. So thank you for that.
Did you hear they were talking about that? Have you ever heard of a Mile Higher podcast?
Yeah,
They do.
with Kendall and Josh.
Yeah, they fucking recommend. They shouted us out on one of their episodes like a year ago, and somebody on Reddit found us through them. Right? That's when they mentioned it. I was
Are you serious?
I was like, yo, that's like a huge fucking podcast.
I haven't watched them in a while because due to recent events, I haven't been able to handle true crime content very well. So I haven't I've been kind of, but they used to be like one of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. It's been years since I listened to him, but
out of here.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, wow, that's fucking cool.
Wait, did you find it?
No, I got to go to that comment and see.
Okay.
Maybe they referenced the episode.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they did or not.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah. Or reach out to him somehow. Yeah.
That would make my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
They're super popular though. I don't know how we would get a hold of them.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. I was like, they're fucking huge. They were doing conspiracy shit 8 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I
used to follow because Kendall had her own channel before they had the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I followed her for a long time, and then I really got into the Lights Out, which is Josh's podcast.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, it's good. It's all kind of creepy content.
Yeah.
It's really good. He used to do it with his brother, but his brother now does other stuff. But
I like stuff like that. There's a couple of podcasts I listen to where they'll just read stories, but they'll nice narration. They'll play creepy music in the background. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's really good. It's it's true stuff and stuff about conspiracy stuff, but it's all real creepy.
Yeah. Shout out again to fucking Mile Higher podcast.
Right on. Yeah, we should try to sort that out.
Yeah, we'll
if we can figure out how to. Yeah. It's interesting. We're big into the big time, apparently. Like a year ago.
we didn't even know it.
Good times. So what's the question for today, man? You got one for us?
Yeah, I do. What's your guys' perfect ideal room temperature?
74.
74?
Yeah, I guess it really depends on what time of the year it is.
73, 74.
Well, let's say now and winter, but currently.
Yeah, right now.
What would you like to walk in your house and be chilling the rest of the night?
Yeah, 70 in the summertime, because I pay NIPSCO, 72.
Yeah. Okay.
If I didn't, 70.
That's funny. 72, 74, I say 73.
Oh, well, we're in the same range at least.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking. I thought you would have said like fucking 68 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
seriously.
Oh, yeah, no. Winter time, that's where I'm at, which is
because like I come in here and it's like freezing cold most of the time in the winter.
It's because I don't have any insulation in my damn house. We just talked about
that
this.
Shit on purpose.
No, like the back air. Like so, for those that are listening that don't know me personally, my house has like 4 or 5 different additions on it. So the original house is from I think like 1922. I think something like that.
Old? Mm-hmm. No shit.
So a lot of the old stuff, like there's a whole nother like I always say boiler, but you know, like the like a heater. Like yeah, there's another one in the house. There's 2, but the original one is somewhere in the crawl space. I'm not going down there to find out.
Let's go.
Nope.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Bust through that wall.
We're not. No. So the original part of the house heats just fine. So like because you've never been in the other part of the house when you come over, which normally I get it. Why would you? So, but yeah, the rest of the house is warm. The front of the house is cold, just like right now the front of the house is hot. The rest of the house is comfortable because there's no insulation. I'm fixing it soon.
Today's the first time I've been here since it's been like hot out.
Yeah.
And I was about to walk in and I was like hesitating because I'm like, it's going to be freezing cold in there. And I walked in and it was like pretty warm. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Feels nice.
I'm like, hell no, dude.
I can fuck with this.
My fat ass is down there sweating.
Yeah.
I was like perfectly comfortable. It's a little warm up here.
Yeah, okay.
But
see, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
This is fine.
I would rather be hot than be cold.
Same.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't like that when I'm inside of my own home. Like when I'm at home, I'm trying to become as comfortable as humanly possible, and that is not happening when it's like 76 in my living room and I'm sitting there just
there's
basting in it.
You know, my dad, he has a nurse that comes and watches him when I'm at work, and sometimes I'll get home. And I'll get home a little after the nurse will leave, and my dad will turn the heat up. So, like, I don't know why. It'll be like how it is today, and I'll walk in my house, and it'll be like 86 degrees, and fucking Juno's like laying on the floor.
Oh, poor Juno,
just like dying, just like help me. And my dad's in his room, like with the fan on, the blanket on him, like oblivious to the rest of the fucking house.
Must be fucking nice. Dude, all right, so that reminds me of something, a story about your mom, actually. And you remember this incident. B, I don't know if you've ever heard this story or not. So, as some of you may know, we used to live together. I lived with DJ at his house for a bit, for like a year and a half, I think. And when I first moved in there, his mom's retirement home was being renovated. So she was living there too. So it was myself, DJ, and his mom.
Yep.
Shout out to Lola. And it was cool. Like, at first I'm like, man, it's going to be weird living with my buddy and his mom. But it was actually dope as fuck.
But then she started cooking, and you're like, hell yeah.
That house was clean, and there was food all the time. It was the best. Yep. It was the fucking best. So, like, I mean, like, I would be on my way to work, and where I used to work at, we had a cafeteria right by where my desk was, and I used to just get, breakfast and lunch there. It's fine. It's a couple dollars every day, but whatever. No, Lola found out about that shit, and she was not having it. Nope. Left
no, sir.
Threw Tupperware filled with deliciousness at me every morning. It was great.
Yeah, not in that house.
Nope. So, but one day I came home because my schedule wise, I was home before DJ was most of the time, and I get in the house and I'm like, man, what the fuck does it smell like gas in here? While his mom was cleaning, and I guess like her sense of smells not good.
Yeah, she's pretty old.
Yeah. So, like, what's like gas in here? So I went in and she was like in the middle of mopping the kitchen. And I guess she must have like bumped into the stove and turned it.
Was cleaning it maybe.
Or maybe, just turned it on an accident. And I'm like, oh, why does it smell like gas in here? She's like, what are you talking about? Click. Okay. Like we are all about to die in this motherfucker.
That happens on a regular basis at my grandparents' house. I swear. Wow. At least 3 times since they've moved into their new house like a year ago.
Yeah.
I've walked in there and I've smelled gas. And I'm like, is the gas on? And my grandma would be like, I don't know. Your grandpa was heating up a hot dog earlier. Maybe it's the hot dog.
I'm about to blow a house up for a fucking wiener.
Yeah, no. It's
for a glizzy bomb.
For a glizzy?
That's a good band name right there, Glizzy Bomb. I called it. Don't that's
going
use it.
Oh man, I'm gonna add that to our
DJ and the Glizzy Bombs.
Oh yeah, that's
good. That's good. I like that. So yeah. Well, it's like we're similar in at least like the heating and cooling in the house. It's just once I'm getting my insulation fixed sooner than later. I could really use a job first, though. That'd be.
Yeah. I can't wait until I move to a house with proper insulation.
I feel like office work is like, I don't want to say more brutal because like I fucking weld and stuff in the heat, so it's fucking brutal in the summer. But I feel like when you work in an office, it's just like, okay, let's crank the fucking air on. So you're constantly going from like hot to cold.
It is freezing cold in my office all the time because I work with like some, like, I don't want to say like older women, but like they're like menopause age. So they have hot flashes. And so they like crank the air up. And I walk into work and I've got a sweater. I've got a heating blanket. It's like 90 degrees outside.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that's true. Because it is like the Arctic tundra inside of most offices. Yeah. It's just how it is.
Because like anytime I have a half day or like today, this is why I thought about this, because I go to the doctor's office and I'm dressed like this. And I'm sitting in the office room, like waiting for him, just like fucking freezing, you know, because he like numbs my toe and then he disappears for like half an hour, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought about it because, you know, I've done both. I mean, I've worked in, you know, offices, I've worked in labor, but yeah, like being outside is fine until there's just sun and then no breeze.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're basting in it.
Still heat.
Oh man. And like the worst was when, and like obviously there's worse situations than this, but just personally what I can at least equate to was when it was just the middle of summer and I was driving a forklift and the engine's right underneath your butt. And it's just hot everywhere. Just everywhere. Dude, I used to go through so much baby powder in that place. It was.
Dude, there's times that in the summertime at work over the past years where I would have to preheat something with a huge hog torch to like 400 degrees and I'd have to sit on it because where I had to weld was in that area and the only place. So I'd have to put cardboard on top of it, which keeps it a couple minutes before it starts burning. But oh my God, just slow roasting yourself all fucking day at work.
I remember when I was working at Ford, it would get the assembly side was usually a little bit cooler than the stamping side because the stamping side had these massive die machines that would put off a ton of heat. But when we were working over there in the summer, they wouldn't give us water unless it was over 120 degrees in the plant.
What? That's wild.
That sounds illegal.
Right?
Where's OSHA?
I know, but that was their policy. So we were all like praying that it would hit 120 degrees, so they would roll out these big coolers full of waters, like ice and waters. Yeah. And so then I would like I was like taking ice out of it and like shoving it down my shirt, shoving it in my pockets and my shoes.
Yeah.
And then there was a kid in my hiring group that passed out and like had a seizure. Because he got like heat stroke or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was wild. It was wild.
It reminds me of the UPS years.
Oh yeah, loading them trucks.
I was an unloader, but yeah. Well, and I also worked the night shift too. So the night shift, those trucks were sitting in the sun all day, just baking in it. So you open the door and it just slaps you right in the face.
Yeah.
And it's all dusty in there. And you couldn't, back then, because it's way before COVID times, you couldn't even wear a mask in there because they wanted to be able to see your face. They thought people were going to steal if they had like a mask. So like you were just in there just breathing in this hot ass dirt.
They know who you are though.
You would think so.
You're an employee.
Last I checked, I was at the time, yes. Because you always have to have your badge on too.
Yeah.
So like
it's like we have your social security number. Like,
right.
What do you think? Like you're hiding your face. What is that going to do?
Right. Yeah. I don't.
You're in your scheduled truck at your scheduled time. Like
that's so.
Yeah. It was so freaking weird. That place fucking sucked. They did pay for college though, so I mean,
there you go.
You know.
Yeah. I compared to jobs like that, I love working in an office.
I agree with that. Yeah. It was actually in the middle of the winter. I was sitting on a forklift again, getting snowed on. I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like I have IT experience. Why am
I don't know why I imagine you outside in like the dead of night, and there's just like one street light over you in the forklift, and you're just like sitting there, just like, why?
It's like go home. It's like lightly snowing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's not completely wrong. And I had a cigarette hanging out of I had a cigarette like just draped out of my mouth. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like what is this?
Somebody turn that image into a t-shirt.
Oh man, it was just that was a dark day for me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have experience doing other things. I can make more money than this doing way less than this.
And then Aaron had an epiphany.
I did. I did. Two weeks later, I'm out that bitch.
That's a lesson to you, kids. Getting forklift certified isn't as cool as you think it is.
The memes, though.
It's cool for like a couple days when you're driving the forklift around and you're like, me, you know, and then after that you're like, well, shit. Now I have to drive this thing.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was a fun. The place I worked at was dope because I worked with just a bunch of my friends. So like it was just really working with like my friends every day. That part was cool.
Yeah.
The job itself could suck a dick though, but what we were like the job and the coworkers were dope. So
yeah, working with your friends is super cool until one of them sleeps with your boyfriend, and then you're like,
oh
sucks.
yeah, I forgot that happened. Jeez, and on today's episode of Bees Trauma, we have that one bitch that won't be named.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know who you are.
The bitch who shall not be named.
You know who you are. Stop being a hoe.
She ain't listening.
Oh yeah. She be on that bald-headed hoe shit. And I just want to let her know on the internet.
Yeah,
I just think the internet just should know that she'd be on some bald-headed hoe shit.
you're not wrong.
That's all. That's
hilarious.
That's my statement.
Yep.
That's it. Oh man. Well, that was a good intro.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's good.
Got a lot in there. Talked about some trauma.
Hell yeah.
Oh, also,
Reminisced.
we should mention we're looking for a name for the pigeon, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, behold.
We had one suggestion. I think, I
was
don't
in
think
there.
you guys know how fucking badass this pigeon is.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you a little bit more about pigeons today.
We are gonna get into that.
If you didn't think they weren't cool enough.
Pigeons are dope as hell.
Yeah, so this is what, the third episode we've done about animals, or second?
I think this is the second.
This is just the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we talked about a lot of them in the first one, though.
The first one was like very pigeon heavy.
It was.
Right?
Yeah.
Pigeon, dolphin, dogs, sniffing dogs. I don't remember what else there was. But we haven't done a part 2
Yeah.
in a long time.
Yeah,
And
I know we talked about doing a part 2 for that too, because it was a lot. There's so many.
And I
There's
think
so
that
many.
episode was kind of a fan favorite too.
If my memory serves you right,
Yeah.
a lot of people did listen to that one.
Yeah.
So
It was a fun episode.
yeah.
And I mean, a pigeon with a fucking parachute and a
A
helmet.
pigeon, a parachute, a helmet, and a camera.
Camera.
Little camera.
Come
Yeah,
on.
didn't you post a picture of that like on?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
yeah.
sure did.
That's good stuff.
Can't beat that.
It was great.
Really can't be.
They were like losing legs and shit.
Yeah.
Like one wing left.
We thought it was so fucking awesome that we decided to dig around more and find more fucking animals that were involved in warfare. And I don't think we could probably do a part 3, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, we can do.
Yeah.
If we digged a little bit deeper and further back in time.
I didn't even have to dig that far to find some fucking really good ones.
Neither did I.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And you know what's weird is when I started searching up everything, I didn't even get searches for the original stuff I found from the first episode.
Really?
Mm.
I did.
Like a lot of that stuff didn't even a couple of them popped up. But
Yeah, I'm going just looking back at my old notes, and I had a lot. There was a lot in that first. I had 3 pages on and they're just little ones. God, there's so many of them. Yeah, that's why I thought we did more than one episode, because of just how many we covered in the last episode we did about this. So yeah, we're running it back. So
I think what you're thinking of is we did a whole episode about what was it, Balto?
We did Balto and
we did
Togo.
do Balto
And maybe
and
you're
Togo.
thinking, because I think there was that, and there was probably another episode
There was
we did
another.
about a specific topic.
We also
No.
did. Was it the same episode where we talked about the horse and Stubby the dog, and then we also talked about
Yeah.
when they used to put dynamite up rats' asses?
That was on me. Yeah.
That was the same episode?
I guess.
Well, that was another one too.
So I guess this would be a part 3. If
This-
you
I
want.
think
Yeah, because
this-
this is
okay.
the third one.
Okay,
Yeah, because
I
I just
think you're
found
right.
I found notes from the first 2. Yeah, I just found the second one.
Part
Yeah.
3.
We
Yeah,
don't
'cause
even know. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I talked about a freaking Sergeant Seawash, man, the Devil Duck, in the last one.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Sergeant Seawash.
Sergeant Seawash and Sergeant Gander.
That's such a good name.
Yeah, it is. That's why we need a freaking name for the pigeon people. So yeah, get
Yeah,
on.
we
Come
need a really good one.
slide into the DMs.
Yeah, let us know.
And
then we're going to take all the suggestions, and then we're going to put up a poll and let everybody vote.
Exactly. So once we have enough suggestions, we'll put up a poll, let everybody vote on it, and whoever's suggestion gets the winner, you're going to get a free t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because I plan on making a pigeon t-shirt. I am working on it. Jimmy was the one I'm still working on. Jimmy! They took my monkey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working on Jimmy the monkey merch still, but the pigeon is the one closely after that. So yeah, as soon as we get a name for it, whoever name gets picked, you're going to get a free t-shirt out of this deal. So
absolutely,
for your efforts in naming and coming up with a cool name. So yeah, let us know. Come in the comments. You can email us at requiredtastepodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us on the DMs. Slide into the DMs.
Slide into our DMs, please.
About a pigeon, but not about anything else. Or if you have a good suggestion for an episode, we'll take that too. But nothing else. Yes. We're both, me and DJ are both in short shorts, and you can't see our legs right now because that's for the Patreon.
They're wearing matching jammies right now.
It's pretty great. We're both showing some high thigh today. It's good stuff.
I was so excited when I saw it.
Yeah, they didn't plan it. DJ just showed up and was wearing the same thing as Aaron.
Fucking linked up. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was warm today.
It was.
It was warm today. All right, so you guys want to dive into this? We're 20 minutes in, so we'll figure about that time. B, you want to start us off?
Yeah, okay, so I've got a couple. I've got two. Right. I've got one. one of them's kind of short, but it's like hilarious. I think it's hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the first animal that I am talking about is a pig named Turpitz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turp with a B or a P?
T.
T?
T.
No, like the second Turpitz?
Oh, with a P.
Oh, okay, Turpitz.
Yeah,
okay.
Turpitz with a P. So this pig was the mascot of the HMS Glasgow during the First World War. He was originally kept on board the SMS Dresden, just as like stock of like food or whatever, right? Okay. They were just keeping pigs.
Yeah, sure, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But that ship ended up sinking in March of 1915, right? Okay. So they abandoned this pig with the ship because they don't care. They're like, we're saving ourselves. We don't care about the pigs.
Mm-hmm.
So she's abandoned with the ship, but she managed to escape as the ship was sinking, and she swam from the sinking ship. She was spotted by a member of the crew of the HMS Glasgow, and one of the sailors jumped in to rescue Turpitz. And he like almost drowned trying to rescue this pig. That's a hell of a
fucking mission right there.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine this pig's probably pretty big.
Oh, well, I think it was.
Pig.
I think she was like a small baby pig maybe at first.
Mm.
Yeah,
but she got huge. Like she got massive. This pig. I've got pictures, and she's a big girl.
Oh yeah, gotta put. Oh, you put the pictures on social media.
I will.
Fine. Yeah,
I will. I'll put the pictures up. So this happened in March of 1915. They rescued her from not falling overboard, from
drowning
from
being overboard.
Being overboard. She was adopted by the sailors and quickly became their mascot, kind of.
Hell yeah.
She had a charming yet feisty personality and enjoyed naval life far more than she would have being dinner, probably.
Sure. Yeah. Get her sea legs.
Yeah. She was like treated like a queen. They like pampered her and fed her everything. And they were like, we love our pig. So she like kind of hung out on their ship for a while. They used her to like sniff for stuff, I guess, like a dog. Like pigs are super smart.
They are super smart.
Pigs are like really intelligent, I guess. So yeah, she like helped with some stuff. She was like, doing her part, pitching in. So she was eventually moved to a farm in Whitchurch, New Hampshire. And then she kind of like became famous as the war pig, right? People would like come from far and wide to see the war pig. And she kind of became a local celebrity. What's fucked up, though, is that she was auctioned off for pork to benefit the Red Cross.
Jesus.
Okay. So she escaped death once, well, twice, because she was going to be food first, and then she escaped a sinking ship.
Yeah.
So then,
Yep.
okay.
I know. Isn't that fucked up? Like all the other animals that we've talked about have like, they've like gotten to live out the rest of their lives, like hanging out. They got medals. They got like, you know.
Yeah.
Nope. They're just like, we're eating her still.
That's
And then.
okay.
That sucks.
And then the Duke of Portland, I guess, ended up with her. And he cut off her head and mounted it.
That's some aristocrat shit if I ever fucking heard it. God damn it, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
What
so,
the fuck?
yeah, her head was mounted, given to the Imperial War Museum in London, where it remains on display to this day. He also cut off her legs and made them into like a carving set.
God damn.
What the hell?
What the What?
Wow.
That like reminds me of that episode of why can't Parks and Rec where they do like treat yourself day
Treat yourself.
and they're eating at that restaurant where they only serve fish that celebrities previously owned.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Freaking love that show so much.
Oh my god, me too.
And treat yourself is the phrase that is always in my head, and it's why I have debt.
Yeah, if you ever have a question, you know, like should you buy it?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, controversial opinion. I like Parks and Rec more than I like The Office.
That's not controversial at all. It's the correct opinion.
Yeah,
Okay,
it started the opposite for me.
Yeah.
But like Parks and Rec just
Blew it out of the water, I
yeah,
think.
just way funnier.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of her story. Her
Okay.
her little feetsies are now reunited with her head
Well, that's
at
nice.
the museum. So
Which museum was that again?
it is the Imperial War Museum of London.
That is some British ass shit to find in there
that's
too.
what I mean.
Yeah.
The most like just aristocrat shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that just adds
Gonna
up.
see a picture of her.
Oh,
Be a big
it's
girl.
adorable.
Yeah.
I hate it
Oh, yeah.
because he was probably like, I want like the finest pork, and they were like, cool, we got.
We
this.
have a war hero.
And then he reads a newspaper of this pig, and he's like, I want this one. Whatever it costs.
Another fun fact is that she was named after the German Grand Admiral Alfred von Tirpitz, as like the sailors were calling him a pig.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Tell you.
So anyway, yep, that's the story of Tirpitz the pig.
I imagine they gave him like a tattoo.
I mean,
Little
probably.
Sailor
They're
Jerry
sailors,
tattoo.
yeah.
Well, they're sailors, and I mean, pig skin is just like tattooing human skin in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should have.
I just can't imagine a pig would sit very well for a tattoo.
I don't know. They probably have pretty good pain tolerance.
They just like shove whiskey in its mouth. Get it drunk first.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those videos of like pigs drunk? Or like the
No.
one where the dude like pigs
No.
drunk on his farm. It like got into
Like
some type of
fruit or
fermented something.
Yeah.
And he goes to like shake it to wake it up, and it wakes up, but it rolls down this hill, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And the fucking pig's just like drunk as fuck, like rolling down the hill.
I've never seen that, but now I want to.
It's because the guy's like, "Oh shit!" Like and he's like he starts like chasing the pig.
That's so funny. I've never seen that, but
Yeah, no, I've never seen that before.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's
I'm gonna look it up
hilarious.
later.
Yeah, it lives in my brain
That's fair.
and free for sure.
That's fair.
Okay, so that was kind of a fun one. But the one that I really want to talk about is Judy the dog.
Okay.
Judy the dog was the only dog who's ever been a prisoner of war.
Who the hell? Well, that sounds like some shit the Nazis did. They would do some shit like
Or
that.
the Japanese.
It was the Japanese.
Oh,
Damn it! Good second guess though.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
good second guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I always kind of forget how evil the Japanese Empire was because of anime. But yes,
Yeah. It was fucked.
those sons of bitches.
Yep. All right. So Judy the dog. Judy was a purebred brown and white pointer dog. It's just like a hunting dog. Like when you think of a hunting dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's a pointer. She was born in February of 1936 in Shanghai. She was like just in a kennel for like a long time. She was only about like a year old when the crew of the HMS Nat adopted her as their like ship dog. So ships used to bring on dogs and cats to help like control pests and to just like hang out with them, because who doesn't like to hang out with a dog?
I mean, it's good for morale, really.
Yeah. So they were going to train her to be like a hunting dog, but she wasn't very good at it. But it's fine because she was good at a lot of other shit. She was really good at like sniffing out things. Like she could find food really easily. She could sense. She could like sense when the enemy was coming, like way sooner than any of the soldiers could. So a man named Jan Cooper was given the job of keeper of the ship's dog. So he was kind of in charge of her. She slept in an open box on a blanket. The Chinese cooks on the ship like hated her, so she stayed away from them.
So they just wanted to fucking eat her the whole time?
Basically. Yeah.
They're just like sharpening their knives, like looking at the fucking, oh.
It's not racist at all.
Yeah. Shit in my kitchen.
She ended up falling overboard one time, and she was spotted, and they literally brought the ship to a full stop so they could rescue her, and they logged it as a man overboard training exercise so they wouldn't get in trouble.
Oh, shit.
She was christened that way, I guess. They called that her christening. She was really useful in helping the ship navigate like the river. She was able to alert them to, like enemy boats. She was able to alert them to enemy aircraft. She met another ship's dog that she like really kind of, that dog really liked her, but she was like, I don't like you. And like ever since that happened, the crew was like obsessed with trying to find her like a boyfriend.
Oh my God.
So they were always trying to like match her up with all these boy dogs. They were trying to like match make her. She like did all kinds of stuff. They kept trying to teach her how to hunt, and she like wasn't having it. She just wasn't a hunter, which is crazy because pointers are usually really good hunting dogs. That's like their thing. So she pointed out like the approach of hostile Japanese aircraft long before the crew could hear them. She would bark at the aircraft until they passed. There was one time when her handler took her for a walk outside the city, but she ran ahead and she was like pulling him, really pulling him.
Yeah.
He was like, "What the hell?" Turns out she was pulling him away from a leopard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's important.
I gotta fix this real quick. This thing keeps like
All right,
slowly
hang on.
sagging down.
Which button is that for you?
Give me a like fucking.
Oop, nope, wrong one. There we go. All right, cool. You're good. You can keep it on B.
Okay. So there was a party with the Nat and another ship called the Panay. After the party, the crew of the Nat realized that they didn't have Judy anymore. They're like, "What the hell? Where's our dog?" So the crew of the Panay, they contacted them and they asked them, and they're like, "Nope, haven't seen her." And they're like, "Okay, well, clearly you have her." So they went and they stole the ship's bell, and they're like, "You'll get this bell back when we get our dog back."
Oh hell
That's
yeah.
a very classic naval prank too. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Like stealing the ship's bell is classic.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
I never heard of that before.
yeah, so they returned Judy. They gave her back.
Nice.
Yep.
He took a dog.
Bring us the dog.
So she finally ended up finding kind of a boy dog that she liked. And while docked in Hankou. It was another pointer. And the ship's two companies held an impromptu wedding ceremony for the two dogs. They literally married her off.
Nice.
That's amazing.
She got pregnant and had puppies. She gave birth to 13 puppies. 10 of them survived. They were given away. She was walking one time with these sailors who were confronted by Japanese soldiers. They pointed a loaded rifle at Judy, and one of the soldiers, the American soldiers, threw him into the river in response.
What the fuck, man?
Nice.
Like, don't you point a gun at our dog? Are you out of your mind?
Right.
Don't you ever? Could you imagine
Don't
just
you
getting
ever disrespect Judy?
like not even getting punched?
No.
Somebody just picks you up and throws you
Yep.
into the fucking
Just
river, dude.
picked him up, threw him.
So as it should be, really.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's see what else. She like saved these soldiers' asses so many times. Judy would she would get seasick sometimes. But they would dock the boat and they would take her for walks if she was getting seasick,
Wow.
which is adorable. I
Yeah,
think.
that really is.
They were in Singapore for a while where she hung out with her puppies before they were given away. She was being looked after at this time by Petty Officer George White. The Battle of Singapore was happening, and she was now on a boat called the Grasshopper. The Grasshopper sailed out to sea and with its sister ship, the Dragonfly. And Judy
These are the most fucking, I'm sorry, these are the most Japanese fucking funny names I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
Jeez.
Yeah. So the Grasshopper, which is where Judy was, it was hit by a single bomb. And Judy was like below deck, so she wasn't able to like alert to the planes. So it was hit by a bomb. It started, the Dragonfly was hit by 3 bombs and sank. Then the Grasshopper was hit by 2 more bombs. It started sinking. The order to abandon ship was given. They all are abandoning ship. It's on fire. It's chaos, right? So they're all like trying to get off the ship. They end up on like an island, like a little island, and they realize, where's Judy? Like they don't have Judy. And so one of the soldiers is like, okay, I'm going to swim back to the ship because the ship was like half in, half out of the water. He's like, I'm going to swim back to the ship. I'm going to see if I can find some supplies, and I'm going to see if I can find Judy. Whilst there, searching in the dark, he feels Judy. She was pinned in her bed under a row of lockers. So he constructs a raft out of like little materials, and he tows Judy as well as some supplies back to the island.
Nice.
Yep.
It's pretty crafty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing that he did, because on this island, there was like hardly any food. They couldn't find any water. But Judy, she started digging at a point on the water line. And after a couple minutes, she unearthed a fresh water spring, saving everyone's lives.
Wow.
Yep.
What a good dog.
Such a good girl.
Right?
Good girl.
The goodest girl. The ship ended up exploding, and so the survivors, they were there for a few days. Judy would protect them from snakes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So she just like saved their asses over and over and over again. So they ended up getting rescued, I believe. They traveled. They ended up in Sri Lanka. They embarked on a 200-mile cross-country trek across one of these islands in an attempt to reach Padang. During the journey, Judy was attacked by a crocodile.
What the hell?
Yeah. This dog has, like, they say cats have 9 lives. This dog had 9 lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She was attacked
wild.
by a crocodile. She just got, like, a little cut on the shoulder, so she was fine. But they patched her up with their first aid supplies.
Beat the fuck out of the crocodile.
Yeah,
I
probably.
just like,
Probably.
Some guy's got him in a full Nelson. The other guy's like hitting him in
Hell yeah.
the stomach.
because my first thought was that video, that dude punching the kangaroo.
Oh my God.
That was like my very first
The
thought.
kangaroo had like his dog by the throat.
Yeah.
And he just like,
Or you ever see the video of the dude swimming and there's like an alligator coming after him, and then his buddy jumps off a tree and elbow drops the alligator in the water?
I have seen that. I always thought that was fake, but I don't know.
I think it is fake, but the concept is fucking hilarious. Because the dude, he like taps his elbow twice and then he just jumps off the fucking tree.
I really hope that's not fake. I've never seen that before.
The alligator gets scared. Is like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like if you're about to get attacked by a shark, you bite it first. Like, dude, what the hell?
So the last thing you expect is the people's elbow.
Exactly.
The top branch.
Mm-hmm. You know. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
That's wild. Okay. So they were supposed to be evacuated in Padang, but the group missed the last evacuation ship by 9 days, which sucks. The Japanese were due to take over the city, so they ended up getting taken into custody as prisoners of war on March 18th. They were originally held in Padang. They were moved to Belawan. They smuggled Judy on board the transport trucks. She was hidden under empty rice sacks. So after about 5 days, they arrived at a prisoner of war camp in Medan. Chief Petty Officer Leonard Williams recorded, this was his description. Thus began 3 to 4 years of the most horrific labor, torture, starvation, and every degradation the Japanese could inflict on us. So they were not having a good time.
No, and it's part of, and I think we might have discussed this briefly in another episode, but like with the Japanese, especially how they viewed their version of Bushido code, like of the warriors code. If you were to surrender to your enemy instead of fighting to the death, you were viewed as less than a person. So they were treated as less than people. And the records of that are horrific.
Yeah.
Again, Japan gave us an anime. It kind of made me forget about it for a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, Japan, the Japanese empire was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then they gave us Yu Yu Hakusho.
There's
like okay.
one very specific story that I'm thinking of that like we could never talk about on the podcast, but it's like so incredibly horrific. It was like an invasion of a Chinese city by the Japanese. That was
that cannot end well.
I'm just imagining like everyone's like digging a ditch with like pitchforks, and Judy's just like fucking digging with her paws, like shackles on her back paws.
Oh jeez.
She's got like a ball and chain.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which like I was really surprised that they even like kept her alive.
That is surprising.
See,
like,
that was what I was thinking. Because, like, if I was a soldier, I'm like, I'm not killing the fucking dog, dude. You kill the dog. And he's like, I'm not killing the dog. They're like, well.
I mean, that's kind of what happened from what I gather. Because I was certain when I was reading the story, I was like, they're going to kill her. Like, they're totally going to kill her. They're Japanese soldiers, like, with their prisoners of war. You think they're going to let them keep their doggy?
The guy who got thrown in the river, he's like, that's the one. Right there.
Obviously.
But, like, so they actually ended up getting her registered as a prisoner of war because they got the commander of the prison camp drunk on sake.
Yeah.
They got him drunk. And they said, if you register her as a prisoner of war, we'll give you one of her future puppies. And he was like, hell yeah. He's like, this dog is awesome. I want one.
Wow. Yeah. Sold.
Yeah. So that's like how they ended up keeping her alive.
That makes sense.
Yeah. They just liked her.
Yeah. They just fell for her.
Yeah, exactly. So they would give, the soldiers would feed her like scraps of leather. They would like split their rice rations with her. They kind of like kept her alive any means necessary. She would sneak out into the forest and like find rats and snakes and stuff and bring them back for them to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go, Judy. What a good girl.
Such a good girl. Such a good girl. So Frank Williams, he's a leading aircraftman. Frank Williams, he adopted her. He was basically like, I'm gonna take care of you. He would share his rice with her. He would hide her. Like if the guards were on a tirade, he would, put her somewhere where she would be safe. She would often try to intervene by distracting the guards when they were administering punishment. She was trying to like protect her soldiers. But yeah, she was she was registered as a prisoner of war. The soldiers would often threaten to shoot her, and she would just growl at them. Her prisoner of war name was 81A Glowager Medan. That was what she was called as a prisoner of war. During her stay at the camp, she would alert the prisoners to the approach of the Japanese guards, and she would also protect them again from snakes and scorpions. She would bring back food for them. She ended up having a litter of puppies while she was there. She was just like sneaking off into the woods and like, doing whatever, hanging out.
Having a little fun.
Yeah. So she got pregnant. She had some more puppies. One of them was given to the commander of the camp as promised. One of them was smuggled into the women's camp. One of them was given to the Red Cross in Medan. Unfortunately, one of them was killed by a guard, which was very sad. And then the final one was left at the camp after they were rescued, I guess, which I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't take the puppy with them. I couldn't figure out why they didn't take the puppy.
Yeah, somebody got that puppy.
Yeah, somebody's got the puppy. One of the Japanese guards that was just like, I'm going to keep it. So they were transferred. They ended up being transferred to a ship called the Harugiku Maru. Dogs were not allowed on board, but Frank Williams taught Judy to lie still and silent inside a rice sack. So he put her in a rice sack, hauled it over his shoulder, and just walked on board. Yeah.
Judy, play dead.
Basically. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was a zillion degrees too, and they were all dying, sweating. It was so hot, and she just stayed silent the entire time.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep. There were more than 700 prisoners on this ship, and she, hung out the whole time.
Jesus.
The ship was torpedoed at one point. Williams pushed Judy out of a porthole, hoping that she would survive. He's like, this is your last chance, dude. I'm trying to save you here. So he pushed her out. 500 of the passengers were killed during this. He was recaptured and sent to a new camp. He didn't know if she was dead or alive. He had no idea. However, there were stories that started circulating of a dog that was helping drowning men from this shipwreck, from the sinking ship, helping drag them to shore and bringing pieces of debris to them that they could float on.
Wow.
Yeah. She was just out there saving these soldiers the whole time.
Right on.
Yep. So upon arriving at a dock, she was found by Les Cyril, who tried to smuggle her onto a truck. She was discovered by a Japanese captain who threatened to kill her. They're always trying to kill her. They never do, though. But his order was countermanded by the newly arrived former commander of the Medan camp. So the commander who had one of her puppies, he was like, nope.
Don't you touch that fucking dog.
Don't touch that dog. Don't you fucking dare.
You know who that dog is? Do you have any fucking idea who that is?
That's my little schnookums mommy.
Yeah.
So she was then sent back to Williams at his new camp. They were reunited.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
He was just about to give up hope of finding her when she came running from a dock up to him and was like,
holy shit.
Hey, I'm alive. What's up?
That's so fucking crazy because, no cell phones, no internet. Dog's not going to write you a fucking letter.
Yeah. You're literally in a foreign country in a prisoner camp.
Yeah. You're just okay, so everybody's dead, I can assume. That's probably the safest bet. I threw a dog out of a porthole into the fucking ocean in a in a rice sack. I'm pretty sure he's dead or she's dead.
Right?
Nope.
No, she was fine. And she was still saving their asses.
That's the craziest part. It's this dog remembered that soldier saving her.
Yep.
She's like, I know what to do here.
Yeah.
I've been here before.
This makes sense. So later, Williams kept journals and he was writing about her, and he wrote that she wasn't that tame, obedient dog anymore. She was a skinny animal that kept herself alive through cunning and instinct. So they were kind of at a remote area, and they were using the prisoners to hack through the jungle to make paths. And Williams was able to like send her into the jungle and recall her, and like she would let them know if there was like any like big animals out there or anything that was like dangerous. On one occasion, Frank found Judy attempting to bury an elephant's leg bone.
Okay.
Big ass bone.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1945, Williams began to notice that Judy was more aggressive toward the Japanese guards. I wonder why. He normally would send her into the jungle to avoid them, but on one occasion, one of the guards was chasing her and shot at her, and he later found her bleeding from the shoulder because she was grazed by a bullet. He covered the wound with like palm fronds, but he couldn't really do anything. But they actually tried to kill her again. She was, quote unquote, sentenced to death after there was a lice breakout, which she disappeared into the jungle for 3 days and came back once the Japanese forces had abandoned the camp.
Jesus.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sentenced to death. She's like, you got to catch me first, bitch.
She's like, nah, not today. Not today.
It reminds me of that scene. What was it? This Is the End, when James Franco was like going to shoot Danny McBride. He's like, you don't have enough bullets, bitch. It's like the attitude I imagine like Judy had.
She's like so hard at this point.
That's amazing. Yeah.
She doesn't give a fuck. So 2 members of the Royal Air Force parachuted in. They informed the residents of the camp to like hang out. They're like, just help is coming. Just stay here. So they were eventually rescued, and Judy managed to avoid the dock police on the rescue ship. She was being taken care of by the ship's cook, who ensured that she was very well fed on the way home. So after all of this happened, she was like, she ended up getting like revealed on the ship, and Williams thought that she was going to get kicked off, but everyone was like, oh, a dog. Like everyone was just excited that she was there. So upon her return to the United Kingdom, Judy stayed for 6 months in quarantine. Frank visited her regularly, as did a number of the soldiers that she had helped along the way. She ended up going home with him, basically, for a while. She was awarded some sort of valor medal, a 4 valor medal. I don't know what that is. And she was. They would sell like photographs of her. Williams would like sell photographs of her to like make money and stuff. And he would bring her to military hospitals to like visit sick soldiers. So they raised a lot of money for like animal shelters, and they were just like, they were kind of like going on tour, like visiting people and raising money for good causes. She got the nickname Gunboat Judy. And she was awarded the Dickin Medal, which is often referred to as the animal version of the Victoria Cross. Yep. And she was enrolled as the only canine member of the Returned British Prisoner of War Association. She kind of like hung out for a while. She did some radio appearances. This is funny. She appeared on Stars of Blitz and Battlefront, which was a radio show. And there were it was her and like this other dog that won a Dickin medal that she like was friends with. They like hung out all the time. And at this radio show, there was another dog there, a Borzoi, which is like those noodle-looking dogs with the really long faces. The Borzoi bit her, and the other dog attacked it. Came to her defense. So even this other dog was like, "Don't you fuck with Judy?
Do you know who that is?"
Show some goddamn respect. And the Borzoi's appearance on the show was canceled.
Oh, yeah, fuck that dog.
Yeah. Get this dog out of my sight.
Yep.
You'll never work in showbiz again.
Exactly. Judy's sitting there like with a cigarette, like,
you're blacklisted.
You fucked up, kid.
Hope it was worth it, kiddo.
Yep. So they kind of like hung out for a while, traveling around again, raising money, doing appearances, whatever. In May of 1948, they left the country to work on a government-funded groundnut food scheme in East Africa. So there was like a little bit of difficulty getting permission for Judy to come with, but they ended up getting her like special permission. She ended up having one more litter of puppies during her time in Africa.
What a whore.
She had a lot of kids. She had a lot of kids. But after about 2 years, they found out that she had a mammary tumor, and she had an operation to remove the growth, but she got an infection after that, and she ended up having to be euthanized. But she was 14, so she was she lived a very long, eventful life.
Yeah, fucking many lives.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She had like fucking street cred.
She sure did. Yeah, she had all the street cred.
Wild.
Yeah. She was buried in her RAF jacket with all of her medals. And there was Frank Williams built a monument with a metal plaque that described her life. So now it's kind of a memorial. It fell into disrepair in 2016, but then was restored by a church in Tanzania. And it's still there to this day, and you can go visit it if you are ever in Tanzania.
Mm, fuck yeah.
Right on.
Fucking Judy, that's a goddamn story right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was. I've never heard that one before. That's a good one.
Yeah, she was a badass.
Obviously,
she was a badass,
Yeah,
and she survived so many things. And not only did she survive, she like kept everyone around her alive. Also,
Yeah.
I just imagined her with like henchmen.
Yeah.
that just beat the fuck out of people for like the alligator or the fucking they find a cheetah and they just catch it. They just fucking like give it like a noogie.
She's just standing there. She's like, "Get 'em, boys."
Yeah.
Yeah. She was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Good stuff.
Yep. She was like, "Nobody's dying on my watch."
Well, I got a few animals to talk about today.
That's her, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Look at her. Isn't she such a good girl? Look at the good girl.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to make sure you add that one to the.
Looks like a Judy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that the candy that you left up here like last week?
This is the one that Ben brought.
Ah, right on. I do need to correct something that I said before though too, because I mentioned the ship's bell and like the prank of stealing the bell. Yeah, that's usually not a normal naval prank, but the bell itself is actually considered to be the soul of the ship. So when you steal that, it is quite an issue. So I had to correct myself.
So kind of on the same caliber as Judy.
Yeah, literally. The Judy is still more important though, but yes. Yeah, literally on that level.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk about a monkey first. Because
fuck yeah.
His name's Jackie.
Here we go.
Jackie the baboon.
Jackie.
AKA Corporal Jackie.
Corporal Jackie.
Oh yeah, that boy had rank.
Got rank.
Oh yeah. And I'll get into why. So this is World War I actually, so we're going back. This is August of 1915 in South Africa. So World War I kicked off obviously 1914, but a lot of the colonies that the major powers at the time had were all pulled into the war as well. So there was a draft. South Africa. Corporal Jackie was this baboon that was found by a dude named Albert Marr. So Albert was just in South Africa one day hanging out. He finds this baboon. They become friends.
How do you become friends with a baboon?
If you're cool enough.
Aren't they like violent?
This one wasn't.
Okay.
So,
I could have sworn they were like violent.
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
Yeah,
for
like
that.
I picture like he's just like walking through the woods and they stumble upon each other and they have like a stare off. Like 30 seconds.
They're looking at each other like,
Yep.
Do I strike or do I?
Yep. Pretty much how it went. So our boy Albert was drafted. Like I mentioned before, they were drafting everybody from all the colonies and whatnot. So, but Albert had become friends with this baboon. He's like, dude, well, I don't want to abandon my buddy. Can I bring him with me? And the commanding officer was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I guess. It'll be good for the men. It'll be good for morale. Bring the fucking monkey. So, the baboon.
he's like, all right, let's go.
Like, all right, we're in the baboon then.
Wait, are baboons apes?
I do not have an answer for that.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, I'll keep going and you chime in when you have that because I don't know the answer to that. So Jackie went through basic training with Albert. Was there throughout everything. So the meals, the training, the marching, everything Jackie took part in, and to the point where like when a higher ranking officer would come by, Jackie would stand at attention.
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
Baboons are monkeys. They are not apes.
Oh, okay, they are monkeys. Okay,
and they are also known to be very aggressive.
Well, Jackie wasn't, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So like I said, he would stand at attention. He would salute. He was also known to light soldiers' cigarettes and their pipes. So
Hell yeah.
Jackie, you got a light?
Jackie was in.
He's like checking. He's like, hold on.
Funny thing about that, they actually did make a uniform for him.
I fucking knew it.
There's pictures of this on the internet. Yep. Corporal Jackie is what you're gonna have to look up.
I have to see the uniform.
And he had a little hat. It's
That's
great.
amazing.
It's amazing. On top of that, not only did they make him a uniform, when he would eat with the soldiers, he would actually use a fork and knife. Oh, you found it, didn't you?
Oh my god! Look at his little hat.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Holy fuck.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was a snazzy dude.
Look at him. He's like
Jackie
so
boy.
proud too.
He's like, hold on, take it again. I messed up that first one.
Right, give him a good side.
Yeah.
he's like his hands are like folded in his lap.
Him yelling at a private or something. He's just screaming baboon.
Oh my god, look at this. Look at him eating his lunch with like a knife and fork.
Yep. Yeah, see, when I first read that, I'm like, okay, he ate with a fork and a knife. Then I actually saw a picture. I'm like, oh, that's a thing that actually happened.
Holy shit.
Table manners. Mm-hmm. He's got a little cup of tea.
Yep, he has table manners and a
amazing.
sense of decorum. He's doing pretty good for himself.
He's like an old like British aristocrat that was cursed to be a baboon or something by a witch.
There's a good chance of that. That sounds like something an aristocrat would curse with.
As a fucking baboon, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, that was through all throughout training and whatnot. So they, of course, do get deployed eventually. They ended up in Egypt first. So Albert, the dude in the story, he was shot in the shoulder. So in the middle of battle, got shot in the shoulder. Of course, Jackie was right next to him when it happened. So as Albert was down, trying to wait for the stretcher to come, medics to come and actually help him, Jackie was there trying to comfort him by licking his wound and trying to comfort him while they were waiting.
I thought you were gonna say Jackie took his gun. It just started fucking
Just going off.
Jimmy flat blasting everybody.
Yeah, him and Jimmy, man, it's just going in it. I mean, that was also World War I as well. So monkeys apparently just had a role to play in this war.
That's so funny.
That we just did not know about. Need to teach this in school. So as I said, Albert was injured. Jackie stayed with him to comfort him the entire time. When he was recovering from his injury, Jackie was there the entire time with him too. So after he recovered, Albert was then deployed to the European front. So obviously, when we think about World War I, we think about the trenches, think about just the literally the blood, the guts, the mud of it all. Just how disgusting the place actually was. Jackie was there the entire time, right by his side against those damn Germans, doing his thing. So. Eventually, and this is one of the things that we kind of briefly talked about this in one of our prior episodes about just how during World War I they would just a lot of artillery, so they were in the trenches, they were getting shelled by the artillery. Jackie, our boy Jackie, was attempting to build a shield for himself essentially. So he was forming bricks and was making a shield for himself against this artillery. Unfortunately, he didn't build it fast enough. So shrapnel got through. Jackie, our boy Jackie, got wounded. Jackie was wounded.
Okay, do you guys remember the wild thornberries?
Yeah.
Do you remember the monkey that
yes.
had a British accent?
Yes.
Barely.
That's the voice that I'm imagining.
Yeah, didn't he have a monocle?
No.
I don't remember that wrong.
He
but
wore
I do remember that.
striped shirt.
Yeah.
But he had a very proper British voice.
It was quite posh, yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. This is I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this is also 1918. So the war is actually almost over with, but Jackie was injured during the barrage. He ended up taking an injury to his arm and then his leg. So Albert, being the good man that he is, like, oh my boy Jackie. So
Not my boy.
So he picks up Jackie and rushes him to the medic.
Fucking Forrest Gumps him.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much.
Something bit me.
Yep, pretty much. Forrest Gumped him, and so he makes it back. They end up finding the surgeons that can help him out. The surgeon's like, "Well, dude, like I don't know how chloroform works on baboons, man. Like, if I do this, he might die."
Oh my God.
And Albert was like, "I don't care. Save my boy."
Did you imagine the doctor was like, "Is that a fucking baboon?"
Not only that, it's like, is that a fucking baboon in a military uniform? How did he even get that?
Fucking Jackie's lighting up a cigarette. He's like, "Is that fucking baboon lighting a cigarette?" Right,
right? Like, what is happening
what
here?
the fuck is
What is this?
He's like, is that a monkey? And they're like, he's a baboon, you idiot.
Right.
Do what you gotta do, Doc.
You primate. So yeah, the doctor was like, "Yeah, I don't know how chloroform's gonna work on a baboon, man, but like it might he might die in surgery." It's like
He's like, I'm not a fucking vet.
literally right. So they chloroform him. Jackie knocks out. They were able to suture the wound to his arm. Unfortunately, our boy Jackie lost a leg.
Damn.
So yeah, Jackie the baboon did lose a leg.
Peg leg Jackie.
So, like I said, the war was about to over with anyways. He was actually awarded a medal, and he was made a corporal by this too, by the way. So he was given the rank of corporal. He was awarded a medal. The Pretoria Citizen Service Medal was what was awarded to him. So the war ends. After the war is over with, Jackie does heal up from losing a leg, and after the war, he was actually traveling around, pretty much like kind of. Like what happened with Judy, they were using her like to help raise money. Well, Jackie, same thing. So they were going around traveling to collect money for the Red Cross to help the sick and wounded soldiers. They also collected money for the Widows and Orphans Fund as well. So they would just do public showings, photography, stuff like that.
I really hope that like him and Judy were like at the same like animal themed benefit.
Yeah, right.
At the same time,
Like he tips
somewhere.
his glass. He's got
Yeah.
a glass of champagne. He's like, "Judy."
Judy winks at him. She's like,
Obviously. I mean, unfortunately, those were two different wars, but it's fine. It's fine. So one of the promotions that they would run with Jackie was it would be you pay money to meet Jackie, and part of it was you would pay. I don't know. I should have looked this up earlier to see how much this is in our money. But it was half of a crown to shake Jackie's hand. You would pay to shake this monkey's hand. The other part of it was 5 shillings to kiss him.
to kiss him on the mouth.
I don't know. I saw a picture of him shaking a hand. I did not find a picture of him kissing anybody, so I don't really have an answer for that. He was a war hero, though.
You give him a little extra, he'll slip some tongue in there.
Yeah, okay. Now for the bad part of the story. So, unfortunately, this does not have a happy ending for our boy Jackie. So, of course, like I said before, they were traveling around, they were raising a lot of money for the widows and orphans, and they were raising money for the wounded soldiers and Red Cross. Everything was cool. Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, and this is something we did bring up in a prior podcast, shell shock. Because primates are pretty close to human brains. Jackie had shell shock, and unfortunately, in 1921, there was a very violent thunderstorm, and Jackie died of a heart attack.
No.
God damn it, man.
Yeah.
What was
I
the
thought you were gonna
soldier's
say-
name that he was?
So actually, it was Albert, and Albert actually had the same issue. So Albert had PTSD too. So they were both
I
struggling.
thought you were gonna say that he like shot himself.
Thankfully, no.
It's like I can't get the
got-
images to go away.
Tears running down his mouth.
Yeah, thankfully, no, just a heart attack. Just yep, just a heart attack.
The thunder hits. He wakes up. He's like, "Albert!" It just fucking heart attack.
Pretty much.
Oh God.
Pretty
Poor
much.
Jackie.
Yep, rip
Damn it.
to Jackie. I'm going to talk about cats now, so there's that.
I should have brought Bowie with me.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Although
cool.
I was afraid he would poop again, and
that was pretty bad,
yeah.
but okay. All right, so I got 2 cats to talk about. The first one is Simon the cat. This is World War II. So, actually, Simon was around the same area as Judy was, like in relation to geography. They're around the same place.
Okay, so these two could have met up at some point.
There's a chance they could have, yes.
Okay.
Because they both started on ships. That's the whole thing. So, Simon, this is on the HMS Amethyst. The person who found Simon has a hilarious name. Hope you guys are ready for this.
Okay.
The person who found Simon, his name was George Hickenbottom.
Higginbottom.
Found Simon in the harbor of Hong Kong. So this actually is right. Was during the conflict between. This is actually after World War II was over with. So this was during the time where China was trying to figure out their identity. So there was the Communist Party versus the Nationalist Party. Obviously, we know throughout history, Communist Party was the ones who won. Not the point. Just want to add that little bit in there. So what happened was the HMS Amethyst was attacked. Was attacked by the Communist Party. The British people were there actually trying to evacuate civilians from China while this conflict was going on, and they were attacked in the process of doing so. So Simon was on the HMS Amethyst, pretty much like you had mentioned before, like with the animals. They were there for pest control and for morale. So that's what Simon was there for, was because, again, like you're living on a boat, everything you have is on that boat, and you're in the middle of the damn ocean with no way to resupply yourself. So, I mean, you're going to need everything to be there, you know? So Simon's job was to do pest control, and it did a pretty good job. Yeah. Unfortunately for Simon, though, he ended up being wounded when the HMS Amethyst was attacked. And unfortunately, when he was wounded, the Amethyst had stopped in harbor in order to get repairs, resupply, and whatnot. The problem with that is that a bunch of rodents got on board.
Oh no!
And they knew Simon was off duty because he was recovering. But Simon,
it's our time.
Exactly. They knew the cat. Like they had to have known. Like, man, Simon's not around right now. Mm-hmm. Cat's away, the mice will play.
Yeah, literally.
And they fucking did. So Simon was in the middle of recovery. He ended up actually, even while wounded, hunted the rodents to extinction on that boat. And it almost sounds like he did it single-handedly.
He's like, you guys fucking thought.
Right, right, bitch, you wish. So yeah, he went in there and fucked them all up. He was actually the first animal to ever be awarded, or the first cat to be awarded a Dickens Medal.
Nice.
So the Dickens Medal is for, like you mentioned, is for animals. Yeah, and we've talked about a bunch of other recipients, a lot of pigeons that received the medal. But
pigeons get it all the time.
All the time, but this cat fucking got it. Unfortunately, though, because of his injuries, there was an infection, and he did unfortunately pass away.
No.
But he was the first cat to be awarded a Dickens Medal. I think there's a statue for him too, which is pretty cool. So,
hell yeah.
Yep.
Simon.
I got one more cat.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Unsinkable Sam. I don't think we ever talked about him.
Unsinkable Sam.
I don't think we ever talked about Unsinkable Sam. Nope. And it's a damn shame. It's really, I don't have that much of a story for him because it's kind of the same situation with Simon. Mm-hmm. He was there on the boats to help get rid of rodents. I mean, cats have been used for this for time immemorial. Like it's forever. Cats. This is what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
they're good at.
Exactly. So Sam served on a bunch of different ships. I've read two different things. Like one said he was on 3 ships. One said he was on, I think, 6 or 7. I only have 3, so I'm going to go with the 3. So Sam actually did not have the name Sam at first. I don't know what Sam's original name was because Sam,
Mr. Mittens,
probably because he was on the damn Bismarck, and the Bismarck. I'm not going to get into a lot of the history on that because there's a lot to that story. But the Bismarck was essentially the pride of the German Navy during World War II. It had one battle and got sunk, essentially. But it was this technological marvel. It was essentially like it was kind of a badass ship, to be honest with you. But the problem with it is that even though a ship probably could have taken it down, it wasn't prepared for freaking bombers. So there's that. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much like the I think it was the English that did this, but the English Navy just ganged up on it and shot, then destroyed it. But not Sam. Sam got off that bitch.
He's like, bye.
So out of the crew of, I should have written down how many people were on the Bismarck at the time, but out of that crew in 1941, only 100 people survived, including Sam. So Sam made it, was picked up by the HMS Cossack. They named him Oscar. So there's that.
His third name at this point.
Probably. Well, actually, Sam was his last, the final name he was given before retirement.
So this is his second name.
This will be the second name, yeah. So yeah, they named him Oscar. The Cossack was hit and sunk by a German torpedo.
Shit.
So yeah, he was with the Germans at first, got torpedoed, then torpedoed by the Germans,
He's like, not this again.
Literally. So the next boat he served on, the next ship he served on was HMS Ark Royal. This is in November. This was a carrier. I believe this one was owned by the British. And that was torpedoed.
You know, at what point do they start to blame the cat?
I would start.
Cat's bad luck.
I would definitely
The cat's
fucking
like
start.
sending secret transmission.
Yep, in German to the Germans, obviously.
He's the spy.
Obviously, that's the only explanation. I mean, like he was with the Germans originally, then he wasn't.
He's
like
a double agent.
Obviously, that's
Yeah.
the
That's
thing.
hilarious.
While still killing mice at the same time. So yeah. Most of the crew actually did survive, but Sam also did survive.
Hell yeah, I did.
Yeah, unsinkable Sam. You could sink the ship, but not that cat. He actually retired. So the sailor that was on the Ark Royal was when who gave him the name Sam. That sailor also took care of Sam after this happened. And when the sailor retired, so did Sam. And he lived forever. Well, not forever. Obviously, he lived a
He
normal.
lived forever.
He lived a normal.
He lived forever.
length
He's
of
still
cat.
alive to this day.
Well, I mean, there's a portrait of him, so yeah. So there's a portrait of Unsinkable Sam in the National Maritime Museum.
Aww.
So Sam does
Nice.
live on in portrait form, but at least that story ends well, though. Like he actually retired,
Good.
Yeah.
and
Glad.
you apparently just couldn't kill the damn thing. So there's that.
Yeah.
Legends never die, dude.
No,
He had his 9 lives.
yeah, literally,
He went through 8 of them.
yeah, torpedoes.
Yep.
But yeah, that's those are my 3.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah, I try to give something simple.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They're a little sad, but
Corporal
Yeah.
Jackie is my favorite. I
fucking
think.
Jackie,
That's
man.
solid
What
as
a-
fuck, dude.
what a
Holy
good
shit.
guy.
We need to get like a Marvel
Yeah.
unit of all like the animals, like our favorite animals. Have you talked about?
The
And
like
get, like
I'm gonna try to do that.
the wartime animal Avengers.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Stubby, Jackie,
Mm-hmm.
Judy.
Yeah, we'll come up with the highlights.
Yeah,
The pigeon.
The pigeons.
Obviously.
Yeah. You know what? So I'm gonna keep it going with the cat stuff
Okay.
because I was gonna do this one last. But speaking of spy cats, I'm gonna talk about a spy cat.
Spy cats.
Okay.
This cat unfortunately does not have a name because they didn't think it was important enough.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But typically, if you guys were talking about cats or animals that were kind of soldiers, these I'm kind of going to talk about were just operations that the military tried and used animals.
So these are not specific animals. These are just
Yeah, well, this one is because
Okay.
they only did it with
One.
one cat, I believe. It just didn't work too well.
they
So
didn't continue it.
Yeah, this was called Operation Acoustic Kitty, and this was
I know what this is.
this was early 1960s. The military was basically trying to think of new ways to eavesdrop on the Soviets. Because,
I know this story.
yeah, they were having a lot of outdoor
Yeah.
meetings and stuff like that, and it wasn't working. Them just using regular spies, So they were like, we have to think of some way to get close to these Soviets and listen to them, so they're not going to notice anything.
I remember reading about this, I think, when I was doing research.
Yeah, they quoted it as they were looking to create a walking listening device. So they tossed around some ideas. It's the 60s, so they're not going to make... Obviously, they're not going to make a fucking robot or anything
Right.
like that. So they decided to use a cat. So what they were going to do is they were going to implant a 3/4 size transmitter, 3/4 of an inch size transmitter at the base of the skull. A microphone was going to be in the ear canal of the cat, and antenna wires in the tail, and the battery would be in the abdomen of the cat.
What the fuck?
They even wired into this brain's cat and regions to suppress hunger and sexual urges because they wanted this cat to strictly go towards these areas, hang by.
They were just like turning this cat into a robot, essentially.
Yeah, legitimately. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a diagram if my memory serves.
You like touch
Yeah,
its
there is.
tail and like he opens his mouth and like radio waves start coming out.
Or Pez.
Yeah.
You hear the static.
Yeah. Or like in Fern Gully. Do you remember the movie Fern Gully?
Barely.
So like Robin Williams, plays a bat who has like a radio implanted in his head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
And
I
he gets like
remember now.
he like taps his head and or like adjusts a little antenna, and it's like he like is saying all these different like radio shows and
Fucking
stuff.
A. R.I.P. Robin Williams, man.
Oh my god, that was such a good role.
This took him a lot of time to attempt this. This was like around 5 years they were running this project because they had to train this cat to move in small distances and hang around certain areas and not stray from the path. You know, so with the implants,
And
still,
he's walking and he's like, bzz,
yeah.
bzz.
He sees a mouse and like it just fucking like zaps the fuck out of him. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so the mission was going to be in 1966, and they were going to do their first field attempt, basically, where this trained acoustic kitty, which is the only name I have for this cat, because literally everything I found said no fucking name. It was going to be released near the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. to eavesdrop on two men in the park. The outcome, unfortunately, was the cat was struck and killed by a taxi minutes after deployment.
Yep. That's the story I remember.
I remember this. I remember that. Did you talk about this one of the first episodes?
No, I don't think I
mentioned the dog one that was kind of similar, but it was like a dog bomb.
Maybe I'm just remembering it from reading it, but I just remember reading that and being or like learning about it and being like, oh my god.
Yeah, this the amount of time and
So
money.
much time and money and energy into like building a robotic cat, and then it just gets run over by a taxi.
like literally 5 years.
Immediately.
5 years and almost $20 million into this project.
That's the most American thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
This fucking cat. And could you imagine being the soldier who was like, look out? And they're like, all right, Project Goose and Kitty's Operation Go. And the cat goes, and then you just hear static, and they're like,
You hear
what
like
happened?
a horn.
Give us an ETA on the Project Goose and Kitty. What's happening to the kitty? And the guy's just like, like just speechless the whole fucking time.
Like a teenage girl gets out of the taxi and she's like, oh my god, you're a cat.
Like, why does it have so many wires in it?
And that's why you don't name project animals in warfare.
Yeah.
Right there.
At least they weren't attached, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Still sucks.
So the CIA had officially canceled the project, despite technological feasibility, what they want to call it. They said there was too many environmental factors that could not be controlled.
Like we forgot about cars.
Yeah, we forgot about the cars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Being like the guy
my
who's in
God.
command and like he realizes the cat's dead, he's like, lock it up. Come on. It's fucking over. Jesus Christ.
That is so funny to me.
In 2001, heavily redacted CIA memos titled Views on Trained Cats for Redacted Use were released detailing the whole experiment. So that's when they actually released all the details into it. Yeah, they officially canceled that in 1967. And there really isn't, because like I said, they didn't do any missions with it. Like they did one field test, and that was it.
Maybe the cat was so miserable from being like surgically altered that it just let the taxi hit it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It gets released into the world and it like sees the taxi and it's like, sweet death.
that's just dark. Anyways,
That's hilarious. Okay, so we're going to get into another one we're going to talk about. This is going to be another pigeon one.
all right.
Hell yeah. We got our guy.
Really fucking hilarious. This one was called Project Pigeon.
That's simple enough.
Yeah, later they changed the name to Project Orcon.
Because Project Pigeon didn't sound cool enough?
Yeah, didn't have enough of a snap to it or whatever.
Yeah, I guess not, you know.
Whatever.
Orcon.
I guess.
What kind of stupid fucking nerd name is that? Some Dungeons and Dragons playing son of a bitch.
Yeah.
No offense to Dungeons and Dragons. It's probably a pretty cool game. If you play Dungeons and Dragons, shoot us an email.
I've actually never played Dungeons and
Dragons.
I have,
never
and
played
several
it.
of our listeners actually do. So
I've never played. I've always wanted to play it though.
I actually thought about doing a campaign this winter, actually, but I was just too burnt out from work. I just couldn't even. I couldn't do it.
Well, if you do it, let me know.
Yeah, actually, I have a group that wants to play. It's just I need to get everybody together, but it's also summertime, and I feel like that's more of a wintertime activity.
Yeah, it's harder to.
That's
do
like
that in the
when it's
summer.
cold outside and you just want to like play Dungeons and Dragons with your friends.
Sure.
That sounds like a good
Fuck
time.
yeah.
But yes, several of our listeners do play Dungeons and Dragons.
Shout out to you guys. I've never played it.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it looks fun.
It's a good time. You can be a real piece of shit. So it's actually kind of the goal.
Yeah.
It's to figure out how to be the biggest piece of shit. You should play a bard. I can see you doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can see you as being a bard. That'd be hilarious.
I'll check that out. Yeah.
What should I be?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Because him being a bard because he's a musician, that's easy. That's easy work. I don't know, B. Maybe like a paladin?
What is that?
Okay. We're not getting into this right now.
If you got titles for us for Dungeons and Dragons, send us an email.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
gmail.com.
Well, the listeners should actually pick our characters. Yeah. So, what do you guys think our characters should be? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. Okay, so Project Pigeon was basically going to be a biological guidance system to steer bombs towards enemy targets during World War II.
I could have sworn we talked about that one. We
think
definitely.
we did talk
I'm
about
pretty sure
this.
I talked about that
Is
one.
it-
Did you
Actually,
talk about this? Was
because they
I?
had to peck the.
They were pecking
Oh,
the
was I
thing.
not on that episode?
Yes, you were. Because it was the pigeon episode.
Wow.
Well, keep going.
I don't remember that. No, I got a few
recap.
more because we don't have to do that one. Because
Well, keep going now. I mean, we're already in it.
Just give like a brief explanation of what it is in case someone hasn't seen that episode.
True.
okay, so I'll go over basically what this mission was. Let me scroll back to my notes. 'cause I
Scroll
just
back to our-
scrolled. Okay, so this was invented by B.F. Skinner, a famous American psychologist from Harvard. He was known for his work on operant conditioning using the Skinner box, which I did not look up. I don't know what the fuck that is. Basically, Skinner was going to train pigeons to peck at images of enemy ships. The pigeons were placed in the nose cone of a glide bomb. A screen displayed a moving image of a target. The pigeon would peck at it to correct the bomb's flight path via sensors. That's fucking super crazy right there.
There's actually a video of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, in control tests, pigeons demonstrated remarkable precision. That's kind of even, that makes a lot of sense, though, actually, like the reaction time and everything like that. And Skinner, his process was he would train 3 pigeons per bomb to peck in consensus, reducing individual error,
Right.
which is also super fucking interesting.
It's essentially what a computer does.
Yeah. That's
So,
kinda
like,
crazy.
yeah, it's he pretty much made a computer out of pigeons.
Yeah.
So a Skinner box, by the way, is a small box structure designed to block out light and sound to reduce external stimuli for the purpose of testing small animals and reinforcing their positive behavior and minimizing their negative behavior. So it's like a little box you put animals in to train them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a Skinner box.
So this was eventually canceled. Despite its success in testing, the military found the concept to be, quote unquote, eccentric and impractical. They favored the electronic and radar guidance system, over the pigeons, which I guess
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Some
Yeah.
fucking crazy guy
Yeah.
was like, but the birds, they never miss. And that's pretty much it for that story, because we already did that one.
Yeah.
And apparently I don't fucking
If you want to hear the full
Remember
story, go back to
whole
that
fucking
episode.
thing,
yeah, actually, I was looking up the episode that was, and I just had it pulled up, and now I don't because reasons.
Okay,
bad.
so I'll do another one. This is honestly probably the last one because it's pretty cool. This one was called Project X-Ray. Did we talk about this before?
Maybe.
It involves bats.
I don't remember bats.
I think I do, but go ahead.
Okay, this was a project developed by an inventor, Dr. Little S. Adams, a Pennsylvania dentist and inventor, a friend of First Lady of Eleanor Roosevelt.
I do know this story, actually. I don't think we ever covered it, though.
Okay, so the idea of this whole concept was to strap tiny incendiary bombs on a bat. Release them.
Why are they always trying to put bombs on little critters? Always, all the time.
Yep, every time.
They would release them at dawn over Japanese cities.
Release the bats.
where they would roost in the eaves of wooden buildings. Timed fuses would ignite fires in hundreds of thousands of hidden places simultaneously.
Yeah, it's funny because like this has been tried several times. I mean, it's worked several times in history. Like we had, we've done 2 episodes about this actually. There's the one where Genghis Khan did it, and it was just cats.
It's
the
cats.
cats.
He would
And
like
then-
light them on fire and throw them at enemies.
Kinda, but yeah, it was like a city. But yeah, like he lit their tails on fire and sent them into a city essentially.
That's wild.
And then the other one was, God, what was her name? It was like one of the first revenge stories we did,
Yeah.
and she lit the birds.
The
Yeah.
birds.
Yep.
Oh my
It's like, yeah, you guys can surrender.
And then they were trying to put bombs inside of rats
And cats.
and cats.
Fucking wild.
Yep.
Quit putting bombs in animals.
Yeah, we gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, really though.
We got drones now. We don't gotta do that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so they use Mexican free-tailed bats. The name is really hard to pronounce, so I'm not gonna try it. So what they used was these tiny 17, 28 gram napalm charges attached to the bat's chest with a surgical clip. So these were surgically attached to these bats.
Unfortunate.
That's so sad.
Each bomb would hold. Well, that doesn't make sense. The canister. Each bomb would hold 1,000 bats released midair with parachutes. More bats with fucking parachutes. That's amazing.
Why did they have parachutes?
I think they released 1,000 bats at the same time on one parachute. Like they put it in one.
I think I understand what's happening here. So it's more than likely they had the bomb attached to a parachute, so it actually fell slower. Then it probably released the bats
Yeah.
above the
A
city.
literal bat bomb.
I was imagining the bats had parachutes, and I'm like, but they can fly.
We did have pigeons with attached to parachutes. That was too high for them.
Yeah.
It also had a timing mechanism, like I said, so the fuses were delayed, so it gave time the bats to go and roost somewhere on a wooden ledge or whatever dark little corner on a roof they would find. Okay, so May 1943, the test fire disaster. During a test fire at Carlsbad Army Airfield, bats escaped prematurely. Several flew into and roosted into the hangars and caused a massive accidental fire.
So it worked.
Yeah.
It sounds like it worked.
The bats broke out. That's like being the soldier who's like on watch that night.
Oh. Like, oh, fuck.
Shit. I'm in deep shit. It destroyed the whole infrastructure of the hangar, including the general's car. Which is hilarious.
That is.
I wish I would have knew what kind of car
Yeah.
it was.
That's good stuff.
It only proved that
It
works.
works. Yeah, I'm about to say, like, it works.
Just not exactly how they intended.
Despite the quote-unquote successful test run, Project X-Ray was scrapped in 1944. General Leslie Groves, head of the Manhattan Project, prioritized nuclear weapons at the time, so they took the money out of that project, basically. Went to the Manhattan Project, which is another one we really got to do a dive on.
We kind of have.
Did we do that already?
Yeah, we did.
Did we? The
Yeah.
Manhattan Project? That's an old one. Man, we're like over.
We have a lot
We've
of
been doing
episodes.
this for 3 years.
For 3 whole
there's so
years.
many.
So
But yeah, we talked about that right after the either right after or right before the movie Oppenheimer came out.
Wow. Okay, I do remember that.
it's hard to remember the stories that we've done on the podcast. It's like, or like, did we do it on the podcast, or did I just read about it while I was like researching
Yeah,
something else?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, we have 157 episodes, so
We're getting there.
that is a lot. Yes.
wow.
Adams, the guy who came up with this whole concept, the dentist from Pennsylvania, who was protesting the fuck out of them canceling this, which makes this just crazy guy was. Like,
Didn't he like write them a letter? Like, didn't he write the first lady a letter?
I think he did a lot because he, like I said, he was friends with Eleanor Roosevelt. He made a big fucking stink about it.
He's just really mad at bats.
Yeah, he just hates them. Yeah,
He just
like
hates
he went the
bats.
opposite way of Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
This project cost around $2 million. 1940s.
$2 million.
$2 million,
Yeah,
which whatever, it's probably a fucking lot right now.
They're like trying to scrape